There have been angry scenes near the Chinese embassy in Canberra. Protesters had gathered outside the grounds to mark International Human Rights Day. Some tried to climb the fence, protecting the ambassador's residence, but were kept back by police.
Protesters supporting independence for Tibet gathered outside the Chinese embassy to demand an end to Chinese rule. China has governed the Himalayan region since the 1950s. The London-based group Tibet Watch says religious repression in the country is tightening and that Buddhist monks are under intense pressure to denounce the Dalai Lama. The protesters plan to hand a letter to the Chinese ambassador but were refused entry.
That letter just asked that the Chinese be genuine in their negotiation with the Tibetans and the Tibetans support His Holiness's stance as well.
Emotions spilled over as Tibetan nationals appealed for freedom in their homeland. Emboldened by the woman's attempt to reach the embassy perimeter, the demonstrators surged forward. For the thin blue line of half a dozen police, it was impossible to contain. Posters, messages and a rock were thrown, but despite attempts, the demonstrators failed to breach the gates. Eventually, the group's leaders were able to calm the situation.
It wasn't an act of violence, it wasn't an act of anger. Basically, they wanted to get closer to the embassy and show that they are genuinely frustrated with the lack of progress on the Tibetan issues.
There were no arrests. The protest letter went undelivered, but the message was certainly heard. Vitor Sobral, World News Australia.